Hello, and welcome. It is your mom of three. I'm still here in NYC, and I'm back with another video. Yay! Welcome. If this is your first time on my channel, my name is Taneza. I'm the mother of three. Diligent. My kids are diligent kids living in the heart of New York City. I would love for you to join my YouTube family, my tribe. What you got to do is hit that button down below, the one that says subscribe. If you are already subscribed to my channel, thank you for the support. I heart you guys. Make sure that your post notifications are turned on so that you never ever miss a video. Let's jump into it. This video is a review. Married at First Sight UK, Season 7, Episode 21. I, Taneza, think that the experts like drama. I mean, I get it makes for good TV. I think that the experts are here for the mess. I do. 100.00%, the experts are here for the mess. Why do you ask? This episode, they have all been tasked, all the couples, before their next couples dinner, to write an anonymous letter to another couple. And the experts will tell you which couple that you've been assigned to write a letter to. Then these anonymous letters will be read the night of the couple's dinner by the couple at the dinner. What? Yep. So I had to pause the show and rewind it and pause and rewind to make sure that I got as many couples as I could. So Thomas and Adrian have been matched with Sophie and Jonathan to write the letter to them. Jenna and Zoe write to Keisha and Kwame. Sophie and Jonathan write to Shanita and Jordan. And it's wild how all couples fear the golden letters and they are afraid it's gonna spark drama. I mean, obviously, right? Dinner party, cinco. Dinner party number 5, dinner party number 5, dinner party number 5. First in, Keisha and Kwame. Kwame's hands are in his pockets. And it's wild, it's really wild to watch how the experts watch the couples come in and everything means something, right? All the body language means something. All the expressions mean something. And so Kwame's hands in his pocket mean that his hands are off limits and that he has a guard up. Kwame says that the homestay, they had a perfect location. What, Kwame? A perfect location? Your wife, Keisha, her face says otherwise. Shanita and Jordan are the next couple that walk in to the pre-dinner party. They had so much fun at the homestay. And honestly, I feel bad for Keisha in this moment. I really do, because she just sips her champagne and she looks super disappointed. Because think about it, she's listening to these other homestay stories, meeting their parents, walking into their homes, and Keisha did none of the above. She didn't go where Kwame lived. And yes, you can tell a lot about a person by where they live. She didn't get to meet his parents, reminisce about childhood memories. None of the above. It was an E. None of the above. You know, on tests, A, B, C, D, or E, it was an E. None of the above. And I did feel bad for her. Third couple to arrive, April and George. They do look refreshed and happy. Sophie and Jonathan. Sophie got along with Jonathan's family. It seems, according to Jonathan, that she got along better than he does. Ha ha ha. And Keisha just kept drinking. I felt bad for her. I did. She deserves so much more than what he's giving. Hopefully he turns it around. Thomas and Adrian. Their hands are not just held when they walk in, their hands are clasped strongly when they walk in. There definitely is tension with George. Remember, Adrian had been a confidant to George when George was going through issues he had with April. And Adrian was that listening ear. Adrian was that shoulder to cry on. And living in the same home with him, Thomas obviously overheard their conversations. And there definitely is still tension that needs to be resolved. The sixth couple, Jenna and Zoe. There's consistency, according to the experts, in the way they have connected. They're discussing their homestays amongst themselves. Thomas asks Zoe, would you live there? Speaking of where Jenna is from, which is Blackpool. And Zoe says no, and she's laughing. It's obviously a nervous laughter, but then Jenna gets upset that she's laughing about it. According to Zoe, that when she was there was lots of sunshine. It made it look like a holiday destination. And so she was considering it. Then it began to rain, wah, wah, wah. And she was like, no, I like where I live. The next couple to enter is Whitney and Matt. Surprise. Jazz hands. They did not come back for negative arguments. The initial impression of me, Taneza, is that the other couples are not happy. Except there are two, maybe three. April and George run to hug them. Sophie and Jonathan also seem happy that they're happy. And Keisha and Kwame. So the group is split, actually. The group is split. We have April and George, Sophie, Jonathan, Keisha, and Kwame on their side. You know, love rules, love wins. But then we have Jenna and Zoe, Thomas and Adrian, Shanita and Jordan, who feel disrespected, feel the experiment's been disrespected, may or may not have allegiances to Duca and Gemma. No one can deny, and I get it. There's a huge difference in Whitney. But what got me, and I watched it twice, not Thomas reapplying his lip gloss, sipping his champagne, facing away from the new couple. But I get it. Gemma's his friend. Don't forget, during the couple's retreat, Gemma stayed both nights with Adrian and Thomas in their couple's bungalow. Zoe gets a little bit heated. She feels like what they have done is just disrespectful and says it's bollocks. Whitney says that she does not feel guilty and she has no interest in proving anyone wrong, but you directed at Zoe, and Zoe's obviously upset. When they go to sit down for the couple's dinner, Zoe sits across from Whitney and Matt, and it's definitely the most awkward dinner party yet. Matt, I mean, he's just facing it head on. It is what it is, period. I mean, he's very matter of fact about the entire thing. He stands up and he gives this toast to the entire group. He toasts to leave what has happened in the past, and let's move on to the future. Whitney looks pleased with him. She looks proud of her man. But I remember, Whitney, episode 3 or 4, when you said that you did not like the type of guy who would toast in the middle of a dinner party, be the focus of a social engagement. She didn't like that when Duca did it, but all of a sudden, you like it when Matt does it. Jordan says that he needs love to move in together. That's the missing ingredient. Shanita feels blind. You can tell she is shocked. They've gotten on so well. She's visited his home, spent time with his mother. And then, like, Jordan comes out of left field with this. The fact that he needs love to be part of the relationship in order for them to move in together. And again, that may be his truth, and that's fine. But time and place matters. Like, in the middle of a couple's dinner party, you want to talk about this, Jordan? Was Jordan feeling the alcohol? And even if so, time and place is everything. She has no space to process this new information, the experts say, and I believe I'm with them, 10 toes down, 100% they are correct. Jordan, he asked George to speak privately, one-on-one with them, and I said, not Shanita watching them the whole time, right? They're like in two chairs off to the side, and she's at the table, at the dinner table, and she's watching their conversation the whole time. The anonymous letters come out. The experts look way too excited for the mess that's about to happen. Way too excited. Jenna and Zoe, they get the letter first. Zoe needs to kiss Jenna, the letter said. Days of affection in public. But the rest of the letter was super positive. Shanita and Jordan, their letter. The question is, are you both being yourselves, and how will things work logistically after the experiment? Whoever wrote the letter to Shanita and Jordan, and we think it's Sophie and Jonathan, are they just coasting to the end of the experiment, or are they going to have these tough conversations? Sophie and Jonathan, we believe that Thomas and Adrian wrote their letter. Sophie's afraid to confront Jonathan due to his defensiveness. Whoever wrote the letter, anonymous, says that their relationship won't last unless Jonathan changes his views. After the letter is read, Thomas speaks up, and he won't be shushed. He says that, quote, I wrote every word down to get it for you accurately. No man should comment on a woman's body. Sophie needs protecting at all costs. Period, Jenna says. Jonathan didn't take the letter well. I put Thomas and Adrian, but he doesn't know that. He knows it's anonymous, but it's Thomas and Adrian, boo. Whitney and Matt did not get a letter. Instead, each couple is allowed to ask them one question about their relationship. Adrian says, Matt, did you give all you could to your wife, Gemma? He says he did. Shanita asks Whitney, are you guys part of the intimacy? Well, Shanita asks them, both Whitney and Matt, are you guys part of the intimacy club? And Whitney says, Matt, you can, so when you don't say no, then it's a yes. So I'm not really sure why it seems more complicated than it is. If it was no, they would have said no. Because neither of them said no, then it's a yes. But Whitney says, Matt, you can handle this question. Matt says that he came to this experiment as a celibate person by choice, but he is no longer celibate. So yes, they are part of the intimacy club, Miss Shanita. Adrian and George, they finally go have a chat to the side. Adrian feels like he's talking to a brick wall. Thomas says he's no longer talking to anyone that he does not like, e.g. April. Adrian does not like April either. And I think that it's probably because of how George confided in him and the friendship bond that he formed with George. I think that's part of it as well. Adrian acknowledges that George and April do have feelings for each other, but honestly, Adrian does not think that's a good thing. Keisha and Kwame, they get a letter. The letter says to be more honest about the stage of their relationship that they are in. Kwame says privacy and respect go hand in hand, and he keeps talking, and I'm like, what are you talking about, Kwame? You know how someone just talks in circles and doesn't really say anything? Example, if you watch Married at First Sight US, season 16, Clint just talks in, what are you really saying? What? That's how I felt. What, Kwame? What are you saying? This facade seems more important to Kwame than the truth. Thomas and Adrian, their letter was all good. It says that Adrian is Thomas's piece, but they have to make sure there's a balance there, and Thomas needs to simmer down a bit. 3 out of 3. 100% agree with all of those points. And the last couple to open their golden letter, April and George. George needs support with insecurities. And according to the writers of the anonymous letter, April does not do this. April gets defensive immediately. I'm like, April, you're in the bubble. Remember, you and George are in the relationship bubble. She gets super defensive immediately. If you're doing the work, don't worry about what others are saying. Just say, okay, thank you for the feedback. George says that they are in a really good place and that this letter does not break them. They are walking away stronger. All right, two snaps up, George. All right, tribe. That concludes our review of Married at First Sight UK edition, season 7, episode 21. All right. This has been a pure delight, and I look forward to seeing you in our next review. Bye for now.